Hi, it's David here. Just a couple of things before we get started on today's video. First of all, I want to thank everybody for the support they've been showing my channel recently, whether it's with views, whether it's with comments, likes, subscribes, anything like that. I really appreciate it, and it really does make a huge difference to me and my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit it below. It doesn't cost any money. It's completely free, and it really does make a huge difference to me as a content creator. If you're interested in the transcription or the guitar tab for today's video, that as always is available on my Patreon at patreon.com/dgsessions. The link's in the description below. That said, let's crack on with the video. Hi, it's David here with DG Sessions, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Queen song, We Are the Champions. We're not going to be taking a look at just how to play We Are the Champions. We're going to be taking a look specifically at how Brian May plays We Are the Champions. We're going to take a look at a video he recorded during lockdown on him playing the track. You can find a link in the description below if you want to check out Brian's original video. But we're going to use this opportunity to analyze exactly how he's playing it and take a look at some of the things that he does which maybe might not be immediately obvious when you're listening to the track on the recording, or some of the things that perhaps people might have missed when they're doing their own transcriptions of the track. So let's take a listen to what he does, and we'll talk about it as we go along. First of all, we're going to start with the verse part, and let's have a look now. Okay, so to begin with, we've got essentially a C minor to a G minor, this. And if you want to play it that way, that's absolutely fine. Those are the chords that are happening in the background there. But what Brian's done there is he's built it into a little melody or a little line, this kind of... Now, it sounds like he repeats the same line twice here, but there is a very subtle difference that I'm going to point out to begin with. First time he plays it through, we start with this C minor, and then he does this, where he emphasizes the lower notes the first time he plays it. The second time, we have this, where he emphasizes the higher notes in the chord. Now, this is a very piano-y kind of thing to do. It's not immediately obvious on the guitar, where you're probably holding down the same chord and it's just a case of which strings you hit. But it does make a big difference, and it sounds like he's done something different each time. He's developed the idea and not just played the same thing twice, which is, I think, an interesting point here. Let's continue with the verse and have a look at what he does next. Okay, so here, again, we have an E flat chord to an E flat sus chord. Now, he could have done exactly the same thing twice. But he didn't. He chose to change it up the second time round to sound like he's developing the idea, taking it in another direction. So first of all, we have that, the E flat sus, and then the next time, he hits that high, the high E string as well. So same idea as he's had before. So altering it very slightly in order to create a little bit of a sound of development. Next up, we have the little run leading into the chorus, which goes like this. Okay, so we start with the E flat that we were just on. So the chords that he's playing here are E flat, and then we have a B flat, but with a D in the bass. So the chord itself could be, but E flat to a B flat with a D in the bass. What he's doing here is he's creating this little line running down in the low notes, going. So the chords themselves don't necessarily do that. But the way Brian's playing them we've got this E flat here, followed by the B flat over D, to a C minor, to an F, which he, when he's doing the notes on the low E string, he'll tend to use his thumb. And then to the B flat at the end there. So E flat, B flat, C minor, F. So B flat to a C. And that brings us into the chorus. So let's take a look at what he does in the chorus. Okay, more of that thumb. So we have an F. So an F, but this thumb is playing a little bass run there. So F to A minor, but going through that G note with your thumb. So then to a D minor there. So F through the G to A minor, and then to a D minor. Another thing worth pointing out here is that Brian's dividing the chords into sections here. So we've got this low part, and then they'll hit the high notes with an upstroke. To a B flat, to a C. So one more time. F through the G to A minor, to D minor, to B flat, to C. Let's see what he does this time. Okay, so we've got same idea again. He starts the same way, then he develops it into another idea. So we start with the F, up to the A minor the same way as we were before. And then instead of going to this B flat like last time, we're going to go up to a B flat here. To that chord there. So we've got an F, A minor, to B flat here. We're going to head down those notes there. So from B flat to the A, to the G, to the F sharp, where we're going to do an F sharp diminished. So we've got an F sharp diminished there, which then turns into a D over F sharp. This. So there, one more time for that second time round, we've got F, A minor, to B flat, F sharp diminished, to a D over F sharp. Let's look at the next section. Okay, so there he's going to a G minor, to a C. Again, dividing those chords again. Low note. So G minor to C, to a B flat again. And then we've got this line, which is a diminished little riff. So we're going the 4th fret on the A, to the 7th fret on the A, to the 5th fret on the D. So we've got this. So that line there, so G minor, to C, to B flat, diminished run. So that's kind of implying this kind of, a bit like the F sharp diminished we had. And from there, we're going to go into... Okay, so we've got another little run with the thumb. The thumb's doing some more bass note stuff. We've got an F to begin with. The next chord, a little bit interesting. We've got an E flat here, but a G in the bass. So F. To an A flat, where Brian does a little pull off there. To a B flat, but he also adds in the ninth on the top string there, so it's not just a regular B flat, we've got that ninth added in on the top there. Finishing off with a C7 sus4. It's a bit of an odd chord, but it's like a C7, but you're raising that 7 from the 9th fret to the 10th fret. So that little run there, you've got the F, so F with your thumb, and an F chord on top. Then we've got an E flat chord, but a G with your thumb. An A flat chord, A flat with your thumb, A flat chord, with a little pull off there. To a B flat, with the added ninth on top. To a C7 sus4. So, that about tackles all the different sections in the tune. I think it goes back to a verse, and then it comes into another chorus, but that tackles the way he goes through it. Hopefully there might have been some things in there which you might not have expected, or maybe you've learnt the song before, or maybe you didn't catch them, or maybe this is just Brian doing things slightly differently when he does these things live. I think having a look at things like this and trying to analyse them is always worth doing, because you can always learn something new. I know I certainly wasn't aware of this kind of thing happening in the verses. That's really helpful for me when I'm playing the song live. So I'm going to enjoy looking at that. Hopefully I'll catch you next time, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you soon.